The Dreamcast has been the last console made by SEGA. It had a real impact on medias and gamers alike, so much so that people are still talking about it today. People still tell me that was the best console of its generation. It's a bit too late to realize that now. It didn't reach SEGA's expectations. I don't know what they were, because I wasn't working for them back then. And instead of trying to launch yet another system on the market, risking to die once and for all, they decided to stick with what they were doing best, making games. You had this war between SEGA and Nintendo, which was huge back then. It was quite funny looking back at it. I know that people cried, literally, when SEGA announced they would stop the production of the Dreamcast. That hurt a lot of people. There's been, it's true, a little downtime between stopping making hardware and returning as a strong editor. But some games did come out though. It's not all dark. Back then you had Super Monkey Ball on the GameCube. It was the first of the franchise, which has become a real hit today. You had other games, everything didn't stop during that time. Phantasy Star arrived on the GameCube. So you had some games coming out. Some were brand new franchises, some were sequels of previous titles, but it's true that there were few games, and maybe some games lacked a little extra spark. Today we can see that fans who experienced this little downtime are all happy now because they can see that SEGA is back on track with very unique titles, very good games, a very diverse and well-conceived offer. What we're doing best at SEGA are console exclusives. We're not making exclusive titles all the time, but where we're working on the Wii, we really are putting effort into it, not just to port or something else. Mad World is a Wii exclusive, House of the Dead Overkill as well, to Conduit. Valkyria Chronicle is a PS3 exclusive, for example. It's not really about preferences. We're just trying to adapt the title to the public who bought that specific system. To give a new point of view regarding the 3D Sonic games, I can understand all the critics being made, even the ones on Sonic Unleashed. There's a part that the journalists didn't like, but children really liked it. On Sonic, there still are nostalgic gamers buying the games. They will love the future project Needlemouse, by the way. But today, kids are the core audience targeted by Sonic, along with TV shows, etc. It really boosted Sonic's popularity. Today, when we're bringing out Sonic costumes in the streets, we can hear kids yelling, "Sonic, we love you!" And these kids are only 6 or 7, it's crazy. Of course, we can't make the same games for people who are 25, 30, who grew up playing Sonic, than for kids. When we're making a 3D Sonic game, we're very careful even though it doesn't please journalists and hardcore gamers, but we're doing studies with kids in each country, France, Germany, Spain, etc., in order to know what kids wants to see in a Sonic game. And the Werehog part and Sonic Unleashed, well, they love it. It's their favorite part of the game, whereas I don't know if you played it, but lots of journalists told me, "It sucks, it's boring." Well, maybe, but on the other hand, they aren't my core audience. But with Project Needlemouse, I think that SEGA wanted to answer the demands. But the idea really is to finally please all these hardcore gamers, because we love them at SEGA. We're still doing a lot of games for hardcore gamers, so we're really happy they're around. When SEGA stopped making consoles, quickly there's been a connection made with Nintendo. They were old enemies, but not so much. There were two Japanese companies. They built this game culture together. They really made it. Along with Atari, of course, but this whole Japanese part of gaming culture that we love, that maybe you love as well, has been built by Nintendo and SEGA. So when SEGA stopped making consoles, they came right at Nintendo. I even think that the first releases were on GameCube after that. So I think it was natural that Mario and SEGA would be together in a game. Besides, it's a game where there aren't enemies, they really are on the same team. Nobody was pissed at SEGA regarding that. It made us laugh, of course. We were really happy. It was a real event. And we knew that gamers might be shocked at first, but sales proved us that gamers embraced it.